Hey everybody, welcome back. And just want to take you guys with me on the beginning of this prep. I got up already. I just washed my face and brushed my teeth this morning because I'm going to work out a little later. And I've never done a colonoscopy before, so I'm just sharing a journey, that's all. And today I'm doing my first injection. Now, I'm not going to show the injection, but just want to show you how last night I was, let me read this so make sure I get everything okay. I'll just show you what I'm working with right now in terms of me getting ready. And what I mean by prep, I'm not talking about the old school prep because I heard a lot of people talking about they had to drink this nasty juice. Well, I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. They now have the pills. And they now have the pills. So let me share and show y'all what I have right here. Because before I even take the prep to move my bowels, I have to prep going off of I take warfrin. As a stroke survivor, I take blood thinners. I take warfrin. So I had to be weaned after that prior to the procedure, which is this coming Friday, the 26th. And I bring y'all with me, just to document it because I've never done this before, and I'm a bit nervous. I'm telling you that right now. I'm a bit nervous. I'm nervous about everything, but this morning when I got up, I took a few deep breaths, did a few stretching, just kind of got my mind right because there's no way I should be nervous about something like this. Because I take warfarin, which is to have the blood thinners to prevent blood clots. I take every Wednesday, I take my INR. I have the anticoagulant machine that I was blessed enough to have taken home, which means I didn't have to go in and get my finger pricked every single week or every month. So, and I'm pricking my finger, I get blood tests done. Now with this weaning me off my warfarin, I take enoxaparin. That's what it's called. I'll show y'all in a minute. And I don't like being stuck with needles. I don't. Although I have the best veins in the world. Look at that. The phlebotomists love me when it comes to that. So they don't have to search for my vein. I have the best veins in the world. So I always tell them that you ain't got to worry about trying to find my veins. I got them. I got it right here. Okay, so let me show y'all how I'm prepping for this. I'm going to take the camera off. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I got that's the injection of the enoxaparin. That's my alcohol bottle, and that's my cotton pad to wipe the area where I'm going to do the injection on my gloves. And I have this disposable towel here that I'm going to use. So here's the enoxaparin. All right, now we're doing because I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Well, no, I'm not nervous. At any rate, they gave me a whole supply of needles. Contrary to what you may believe, I don't like injections. I don't like needles. I don't like any of that stuff. I don't like that. Anything that pierces my skin, it's going to hurt a little bit. So yeah, I'm prepping for that, and I'll come back and let y'all know when I'm done. Okay. All right, guys. I just finished my first injection. Whew. Y'all, like I said, I wasn't gonna film that. I just don't do needles. I don't like needles. It's all me. It's all me. I build myself up to this big brouhaha, and it's not as bad as I think it will be. But the fact that you're piercing my skin with the needle and I have to do it, I got to do it. Oh, well, I just finished. So let me show you how I put away everything. enoxaparin injections for me to wean off the warfrin. So yeah, that's this and this is what it is. So now what I'm gonna do, put this back in the cabinet where it belongs and keep it out the way. And I set myself up for tomorrow. I have to take it in the morning. So my prep is ready. Have everything here. Got my gloves, alcohol, cotton pad, syringe, and my disposable towel to throw everything away. All right, y'all. Here's what I'm having for dinner. What I do is I measure out 8 ounces of chicken broth, and I eat it with some plain saltine crackers, unsalted. Hey guys, this is day 2 of me taking my Lovenox, or I forgot the name of it, the enoxaparin, not Lovenox, enoxaparin. And this is the medicine that I have to take as I wean myself off of warfarin. Now I took my INR today, and my INR was really low. It was below the range that it needs to be. I take it every Wednesday. And the range is supposed to be between 2.5 and 3.5. Today is 1.9, so that was kind of low. I don't know if because I'm not taking my warfarin pills or because I have not done the second round of the enoxaparin. At any rate, I did the second round of it, and more likely they're going to call me, because they usually do when my INR is low, but we'll see. All right, guys, it's day 2 of the prep of me weaning myself off the blood thinner and taking the enoxaparin in place of it. All right, so I'm doing pretty good with this. I told you I don't like needles, but I'm doing pretty good with it. I had to stick myself twice today, once in my finger and then once in my stomach for my INR in my finger, and once in the subcutaneous, I think it's called subcutaneous of the fat in my stomach. And this did the same thing yesterday. The injection area is burning a little bit, and it did the same thing yesterday, but it subsided after a few seconds. And it left a little bruise yesterday, but you know, I may or may not be holding the needle at a 90-degree angle. I can't really measure what a 90-degree angle is. But at any rate, I did it again, y'all. See y'all next tomorrow. Now I got to throw away everything. Throw away everything. Get rid of the needle. Matter of fact, I try to be careful with this stuff because I don't have a hazardous box to put it in. So I make sure I try to put things away safely. Okay, I didn't show y'all my INR, my coagulant machine setup that I have here. So I took my INR today. I have to test that because I had a stroke. So when you have a stroke, you got to test your INR. Some people go monthly. I test mine weekly, but I do a home test. So this is my home test coagulant machine. I'm just putting it back into the kit that I have here. And here are my strips. Put that back in here. And here are my lances. This is what I use to prick my finger with. At first, I didn't really like this, y'all. I didn't like it at all because I said, this makes me feel like I'm a diabetic, and I'm not a diabetic. This is to check my blood to make sure that I stayed within the range, but as you guys see, my range today was extremely low. I think it's because I stopped taking the INR. I'm just transferring this one lancet so I can get rid of the package into with the other lancets. It was really low today, but that's because I stopped taking my INR, my warfrin medication. So my blood is, I saw it in my finger. I knew something was going to change because I saw my blood. I said, oh, my blood is a little thick today. So I knew that was coming. And these are the capillary tubes where if I can't, this is my weak hand, which is where I took the shot, the prick my finger. If I can't take it and put it on the strip, then I will use what is called the capillary tubes, which I know this is an old one here. I will take this and suck the blood up from my finger. You know, the capillary tube, you squeeze it and pull the blood out so you can put it on the strip. You know, guys, this is my first time ever doing any type of medical things, because I've never taken medicine before in my life. I've never had to do all this pricking and taking my blood, and I never did that before in my life. You know, and this is kind of, I feel some kind of way. I do. I feel some kind of way because I never had, and I'm 57, and all my 57 years, I've never had to do no stuff like this. And now, here I am doing it. And so what I'm doing is just transferring the leftover capillary tubes, which is only about a couple of them, and I put it into the new one because I get a new order every day. Not every day. I have it on order, so I have to keep calling in case I run out. So what I do is these are the capillary tubes that I have in here. I'm just transferring it from one package to another so I can condense the packages that's in here, condense space inside the inside my kit, you know, so I won't have all these bags and stuff like this laying around. I'm just condensing it, make it a little neater. Like I said, I've never done this before in my life. You know, I took care of myself. Well, so I thought. I took care of myself where I had to take no shots and no medicine all my life until 2 years ago, I had a stroke, 2 of them. So this is the maintenance after the stroke so that I can make sure I don't have another one. So these are just the tools that I use to test my coagulant, to test my blood to make sure it doesn't clog up, because the strokes came from a clot in the brain. And you test it to make sure you're within range. If you're within range or out of range, if you're within range, you don't have to do anything. If you're out of range, below or above, then they have to adjust your medication. Well, I'm not on the medication. I'm taking the syringe. I'm doing a needle as I prepare for this colonoscopy. So I got everything back in here. And let me tell you, the old one that I used to have to use pliers to pull the top off the lancet. And that thing was so hard. Now that they're making it a little bit more simpler for me to use, because this thing, I used to tear those lancets up. Yeah, so this is my little coagulant kit. And some people ask where I got the coagulant kit from. This is when I used to be, my insurance sent it. My doctors sent it, so I didn't have to come in. So they have to come, see, I took my, I'm not throwing my finger up at y'all. This is the finger that I use to check my blood. I don't know if you can see my finger is kind of bloody almost. Maybe I should turn it around. Oops, I guess I pulled my clothes up. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's kind of bloody right here. And I just need to clean it. I've already washed my hands. This is alcohol, y'all. It's some dried up blood right here. I just never thought I'd be doing stuff like this for the rest of my life. This is crazy. Once you have a stroke, you know, there's some things you can do, you know, holistically and healthy wise to maintain is to make sure you don't have another stroke. Like get rid of everything that doesn't serve you. Get rid of anything that causes you stress. Make sure you watch your diet and all that. But there's some things that I have to do now continuously going on because I had the strokes. And that's a price I had to pay. I know I'm saying I never do that again. And my goal is not to. Well, I got rid of the thing that contributed to the stroke. That's for doggone sure. But I'll go back and wash my hands again. Get rid of this. You know, get rid of the gloves. But yeah. Just condensing some things and making sure things are in order. And I just keep this to the side or over here in my chair. I just, you know, do that. And just take care of myself going forward. I just try to take care of myself going forward. And I don't like it, but it is what it is. And if I want to stop any type of other issues, then I got to do what I need to do to make sure that doesn't happen. So that's it, y'all. I just never thought I'd be doing stuff like this. And, you know, the first year and a half, it was very daunting because I don't like needles. I don't care if it's a needle like this or a needle where I'm pricking my finger, although it's really quick and fast, like boop, like that. The fact that I have to do it is a buildup that I do to my own self, because anything that penetrates your skin, it's going to hurt, you know. But, and I just don't like it. I'm just expressing myself, but you got to do what you got to do. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Hey, guys, this is the last day this is the day before the prep. So this is my last shot before the prep. So I'm getting ready to do that. I got everything set up, and I'm getting ready to start my my bowel movement prep as well. So just showing you this. This is the prep for my enoxaparin. Got my gloves, alcohol, and this is the prep for the bowel movement for the colonoscopy. The suit tab. So I have this. I start that about 3 o'clock. Got to get that going, but I also got to drink 1.5 liters or 12 glasses of water, you know, prior to me getting started with the bowel movement prep, so I don't get dehydrated. But I do drink plenty of water. So I just measured it all out last night. I did everything last night. I know I look a mess, y'all. I'm sorry, but I'm really tired of this stuff. I really am. So I'm getting ready to put my gloves on and prepare for this shot. I'm not going to do the shot on camera. You guys know what a shot looks like. And I will tell you I got a little bit of bruising from yesterday's shot. I think it's because I didn't hold the needle at a 90-degree angle, so I'm gonna make sure I do that on this last one here, and anything I gotta do going forward. So getting ready. I'm dreading this, y'all, but here we go. And I'll come back to you guys with the bowel movement prep. I'll get started with that, and I don't start that till like 3 o'clock. Between 3 and 6 is when I need to do it. But